The chairman of Richmond Hill joins us now, Hamish Harris. He's here to tell us about the latest developments at the company. It's switch out from a drinks company into a mining company. Hamish, what's the story with Richmond Hill? Fill us in.
Well, Richmond Hill was formerly Rogue Baron, which is a drinks company which listed a couple of years ago. The underlying drinks business was actually going quite well and continues to go well. And we obviously got a large investment in from a Diageo-backed fund. But like a lot of small listed companies on junior exchanges, find it very hard to raise money. Hard to raise money in general, and in particularly in the drinks industry. At the time we listed, there are a number of small drinks companies listed on AIM or Aquis. Two or three of them have actually gone broke or delisted. One's down 90%. You know, even some of the bigger companies like Diageo, their results haven't been fantastic lately. So it got to the stage where we were starving the business of capital. It wasn't working for shareholders. So the best option, I think, for shareholders was to pivot to something else. There's something we know reasonably well, is natural resources. I think we've already established that we've got already had a bit of market support to raise some money for that. And so that's why we've pivoted away from the drinks industry into natural resources.
So there was some interesting news out from Richmond Hill this week. Tell us about that, Hamish.
So Richmond Hill has just signed a letter of intent over what looks like a very exciting potential asset in Quebec. It's got some very high historical grades, particularly in copper. There's also indications of nickel, antimony, and gold. Quebec's obviously a tier one mining jurisdiction. There's a lot of smelters and other mines nearby with people like Rio, etc. there. It's something we know reasonably well through Gunsynd. We've obviously got some investments in Canada. This is for a different source, but it's sort of one of our Gunsynd directors has spent a long time in Quebec, 7 years. So it's a jurisdiction we feel comfortable with. We like copper. We think copper's going a lot higher. There's been a lot of interest in it lately. It's for a variety of reasons, whether it's electrification or it's data centers or ESG things with global warming, etc. We're very happy with that. So we think it's great, but there's a lot of potential for this asset.
Yeah, so at the moment, as I understand it, you're conducting the due diligence. How do you expect that to play out, that process?
Well, there's actually a huge amount of data that's been collected by the government over the years it's called Gastillon, the Quebec government body. So it's a big database. There's a lot of reports being done. There's a lot of historical samples done. There's been a lot of soil samples done. There's been some geophysics done. So it's quite a lot of information there. So, we've got people looking at that at the moment.
And what do you expect to do if you do actually acquire this property? What would be your plan of campaign?
Well, we have said in previous RNS that there's every chance that we'd undertake a reverse takeover. Given our current market cap, that would probably be the realistic way forward.
Right. So, and you think these elements, copper, gold, and antimony especially, is of interest of late. These are the elements that you want to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the drilling, a lot of the results on this are at surface. There has been some historical drill results in a bulk sample. I mean, the bulk sample is over 30% copper. So look, at depth, it's a bit of an unknown quantity, but there's clearly widespread mineralization at surface. So once you get to depth, obviously, until you do it, you won't know. But we're pretty confident there's something there, and higher grade. So it's just a matter of how much, but you won't know that until you drill.
So plenty to look forward to then. When can investors expect the next news items?
Well, we'd expect within 60 days. I mean, one of the other good things about Quebec compared to some of the other parts of Canada is the snow's it's obviously cold, but it's not as cold as other assets of, say, Gunsynd's been involved in. So the field season, the drilling season is a lot longer in Quebec. So that allows for a lot more news flow than might otherwise be the case. And not only that, in places like Quebec, especially in this part of Quebec, in southern Quebec, we've got less issues with First Nations. Don't have less issues with caribou crossing the land and all those sorts of things. It's very close to, it's 2 or 3 hours away from both Montreal and Quebec City. There's roads right up to it. I mean, it's a good location, which means cheaper drilling and cheaper access, and you can work the ground for far longer in the year.
Yeah, and it's quite an extensive parcel of land, as I understand it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it took quite a while for this package to get put together. But it's decent size. It's not, I wouldn't say it's huge, but it's certainly decent size.
Well, we look forward to watching all the developments, Hamish. Thanks for talking us through that today. Richmond Hill, reborn as a mining company, uh, going forward from here.
Excellent. Look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thanks.